Hi, I'm Lisa Rangel with Chameleon Resumes, the premier executive resume writing company, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I'm going to talk to you about 3 beliefs you may have that are sabotaging your job search. Now, the first, we're just going to jump right into it today. So the first is that you go to networking events or you do outreach with a negative mindset. And that mindset can take many different forms. It can be, oh, I just talked to this person and it was a complete waste of my time. It's 20 minutes of my life I'm not getting back. Or, I don't like cold approaches, so therefore I'm not going to do any. Or, people keep asking me for my time, so I'm annoyed by it. So therefore, if I'm doing a job search asking people for their time, they're going to be annoyed by me. If you're doing outreach, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you, as somebody who does a lot of outreach, both, leveraged, meaning a contact or somebody is, introducing me or whatnot, or cold approaches. Like, I am the queen of the cold approach. Like, I will reach out to anybody. There's going to be people who don't want to hear from me, and that's okay. So you have to go into this with a mindset that if you reach out to 20 people qualitatively, not in a cheesy manner, and, you reach out to 20 people and 5 get back to you, these are people who don't know you, right? Just to put that in that bucket, these, you might get a higher response rate if it's people who do know you and whatnot. Then if you get a response of, say, 5, right? Or 3 even, right? Don't worry about the 15 or the 17 that didn't get back to you. That to me is negative. Focus on the 3 to 5 that did, right? And then rinse, repeat. Go find another 20 and constantly make your messaging better. So this way you can keep attracting those people that are in that 3 to 5 grouping, right? And so we focus too much on the negative. We're obsessed with, not wasting time. And you know what? I come from a foodie family. My husband is a chef. He's a New York City accoladed chef. And, he has a saying that sometimes if you want to eat good food, you're going to have to go out there and try things, and you're going to eat some bad food to go find the good food. And it's the same thing with life. It's the same thing with networking. You're going to talk to some people that you're going to be like, that's 20 minutes of my life I'm not getting back. But that's going to lead you to somebody who will be amazing. Or you don't know if that initial conversation that seemed like a complete dud actually begets something that's amazing months from now or weeks from now. So you just have to go into it with an open heart and a positive mindset, that you're going to go help somebody and somebody's going to help you, right? So if you go into it though with a negative mindset, it's absolutely unequivocally not going to work. And then I'm just looking at my notes here because I can't read my handwriting. So this is going to be a little controversial one. The next one is you are hiring advisors, coaches to help you get a better job, a bigger salary, and you ask for discounts. I think that those values are not in alignment. If you're hiring somebody to teach you how to get a bigger raise, if they actually turn around and give you a discount, I think that they are not living what they are supposed to be teaching you. You are asking them to not live what they're teaching you. You are only then considering people who give you that discount. Maybe, you got to ask yourself that. I view look, it's not like you're buying 100 t-shirts, right? And because I'm buying 100 t-shirts, what's the best price you can give me? I'm not saying don't ever negotiate. I'm not saying any of that. But you have to think about what you're trying to do here, right? And, would you go into a negotiation with an employer who says, you know what? You did a great job. Can you do it for 10% less next year? You'd be like, dude, go pound salt, right? Like, no way, absolutely not, right? And we'd write about it on LinkedIn and there'd be 1,000 comments. How dare they, right? So all I'm saying is just think about it, right? Think about would you ask for a discount on an eye surgeon, right? I'm not necessarily equating what we do with the delicacy of eye surgery, but if you can make a bigger salary, have that job that gives you the perks that you need or the setup that you want, that in and of itself can be life-changing. So be careful what you ask for, because you might be putting yourself in the pools of expertise that are not really in alignment with the goals that you have. So just be careful of that. And so the third scenario that you do that can sabotage your job search, and again, I'm getting like a little into my head here, and I'm having a problem with my notes, is that you complain about ageism, right? And don't get me wrong, ageism is always wrong, right? But I want you to realize, and I'm saying you because I'm assuming you might be in my age bracket, viewer, you might be in my age bracket. I'm 53, give or take a few years. So for those of us that are older, we're afraid of ageism, rightfully so. It exists, it's always wrong. But then we turn around and don't give hiring managers of any age respect that they deserve because of maybe some, words they say, phrases they say, actions they do that are just not in the things that we do. That sometimes it doesn't mean that they're not qualified. It doesn't mean that we make these assumptions. We make ageist assumptions that younger people aren't as good as we are, or their younger people don't know what they're doing because they may have said this or did that. And last I checked, our generation, the Gen Xers for the most part, or boomers, for those of you that are a little older than me, we make mistakes too. Right? And we don't like it when people assume we're incompetent because of our age, because of a mistake we made or a word we used, right? So all I'm saying is, if you are afraid of ageism, don't lead with ageism, because ageism is when you use somebody's age against them, and that's not necessarily older, it's any age. So those are my three observations that I see people do when they're going through a job search. And I find that sometimes when people are struggling with a job search, they may be embodying one or combination of or all of these beliefs that then sabotage their job search, in my opinion. So that's why I think it's important sometimes to have some coaching. And but I, in a spirit of cost effectiveness, I have what I call the Ultimate Job Search Plan. You can find it at theultimatejobsearchplan.com. And it is all of our DIY materials coupled with some coaching. So this way you can, sit there from an economical standpoint, get direction that you're going to implement yourself, but you will have access to coaching with my team to just make sure when you do have really pressing questions or perplexing scenarios that you're not trying to go at it alone, and you can ask someone. And you can do a gut check if you have any of these beliefs that are holding you back. It could be one of the reasons why you're holding yourself back. So I'm a big believer, when you have the right mindset, things really start to open up for you because you see possibility in everything. When you see possibility in everything, things really start to happen, and it's awesome. I just love that. I love it when you're in that zone. So anyway, go to ultimatejobsearchplan.com and you can see that offering, see if it's right for you. If you like this video, I'm going to ask you to like it. If you know of someone who will benefit from this video, I'm going to ask you to share it. If you have a comment or question, you can always comment below, DM me, or email me at lr@chameleonresumes.com. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel or followed my LinkedIn page, be sure to do so you do not miss next week's video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.